Welcome to the MOONDOG38732 show. Guess what? I'm MOONDOG38732. On this show, to start off, I'm just going to tell y'all some stories of how I grew up. Some of it may sound unbelievable, but I swear, everything I'm telling y'all is the truth. If you like what I'm saying or doing, hit the like button. Leave a comment so if you think I can do anything better. If you don't like it, man, keep it moving. All right, the first story I'm going to tell you, I'm going to title it The One Man Gang. So when we were younger, growing up in Mississippi, that's where the 38732 came from, Cleveland, Mississippi. I grew up about 6 houses, probably a block from our park, our neighborhood park. But in the summertime, they would bring games and things out for the kids to play with. So my cousin and I, which I'm about 3 years older than he is, so we were like small cats, you know what I'm saying? We were little, man. So we out there in the park, man, playing, and we on this game's kind of like hockey, right? He had a stick, I had a stick, and we were just going back and forth, you know, playing. He on one side, I'm on the other side. So by the park, it was like 2 houses, and in these 2 houses were like 2 families. But the 2 families, they married together, and they became one family. And they were like, it was like a lot of these cats, right? So they come to the park, and they trying to take, you know what I'm saying, take the game from me and my little cousin, man. I'm looking like, nah, man, I ain't going for that. I done watched too many kung fu movies back in the day. I ain't letting nobody take our stuff, man. Man, nah. I guess wasn't going for it, right? And so they left, man. They left, went back home, right? So me and my cousin, we still playing the game. So what I did, I was like, hey, cuz, man, let's get up out of here, man. It's about that time, you know what I'm saying? Our mama's looking for him, which his mama and my mama are both mamas, aka they're sisters, right? So we came through, we getting ready to leave. And that same couple cats that left to try to get our game earlier, they came back with reinforcements, man. It was about 10 of these cats, and it was just 2 of us. Remember, we small. I'm about 8 years old. That make him about 5 years old, right? So they surround us, man, in a circle. It's like something you see on a movie, right? So I'm looking like, man, we about to get our brains beat out. And my cousin, he ready to fight. So I started counting. I'm like, it's 10 of them, and it's 2 of us. So that's 20 fists, right? 20 fists against 4. So I'm looking like this, like I said, hey, cuz, this what we gonna do. I'm gonna hit the smallest one, I'm gonna flip him, and we gonna run all the way to the house. But my cousin, he said, no, man, I wanna stay here and fight. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, stay here and fight? What kind of sense that make? So I said, hey, cuz, this what we gonna do. I'm gonna hit the smallest one, I'm gonna flip him, and we gonna make a run for the house. My cousin told me again, nah, man, I'm gonna stay here and fight. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna count to 3. I'm gonna hit the smallest one, flip him over, we're gonna run all the way to the house. So my cousin's like, nah, I'm gonna stay here and fight. I said, cool. I said 1, then I said 3. Bam, I hit the smallest one, flipped him over, and I started running. I look back, and my cousin is fighting over 10 on 1. I stuck to the plan. I kept going. I ran all the way to the house, made it to the house, opened up the screen door, walked in, say hey to my mama and my aunt, my aunt was his mom. So I came in, went straight to the back, got my little chair, sat it in front of the TV, turned the TV on. So they asked me, they said, where your cousin at? I said, he's still at the park. So after a while, I'm looking like, man. So by that, you know, I learned how to tell time. I'm like, man, this dude still ain't made it. So I opened up the little blinds, looking at the blinds, see if he can. Still ain't made it. 10 more minutes passed by. I look at the blinds, see if he made it. He still ain't made it. So the last time I look, I see him walking, man. He walking with a limp. I can see his mini afro, man, was full of dirt and dust and stuff like that, right? And then you can see that his nose was snotty, and the nose snot was mixed with all the dust and dirt on his face. His socks were messed up, his shoes were messed up. He looked like he just got stumped out, which I'm probably, I looked at my shoulder when I was running back, he was getting stumped out. So he comes into the house. So he came into the house, and he was like, they were like, ah, boy, what happened to you? Only thing he can say, you know how you try to like cry and talk at the same time? So he was like, he left me. Right. So they called me up in there. They said, did you leave that boy? I'm like, look here. They tried to jump us. I just hit the microphone. They tried to jump us. I had a plan. I told him what the plan was. He said he wanted to stay there and fight. This Jack Wang gonna tell me, no I did. He left me. So, and then I said, look here, I had a plan. I told him what I gonna do. I gonna count to 3 and I gonna take off. And he said, he didn't even say 2, which I didn't say 2. And then my mama asked me, why you didn't say 2? And the first thing came to my mind, well, we count my odd numbers in school, right? So they taught me odd numbers. And they was on my case so hard about leaving him. And then the thing about it was, they was like, don't you ever leave nobody, your family back. But I'm thinking to myself, hey, it was about self-preservation. I had a plan, and the plan was perfectly for me. Only thing my cousin had to do was follow the same plan. Now I'm gonna ask y'all this. Was I wrong in leaving him? Or did I do the right thing by living to fight another day? Then